Oh, hi, YouTube. Hey guys, what's sizzling? It's Daniel, or Dan, or Danny, or DP Weber, or whatever you prefer to call me, as long as it's not hurtful. Welcome to Friday Night's Alright for Chatting. I know this is completely obvious, duh, but 2019 is a bit more than halfway through, and you know what being halfway through the year means. Well, in case you don't know what that means, it means that you've pretty much made some great memories so far. With that said, here are my top 6 favorite memories of 2019 so far. In January through February, I had the amazing privilege of playing the role of Bazard in my college's production of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Right from the moment I came back to campus for rehearsals in the second half of winter break, I could feel positivity flowing through my veins. I also loved my character, and I especially loved his song, Never the Luck, which is actually a great song and a very underrated one if you haven't listened to it. This experience was especially refreshing because up until that moment, it had been at least 3 years since I'd done a musical, due to college. In all seriousness though, this was a really fun experience, and I am stoked to audition for my college's next musical. I'd been preparing for this moment at least a year in advance, and it was all worth it. I was very pleased with how I did, and afterwards I also got to spend some time with the friends and family that came. In addition, at the very end of my recital, I got to do what's called an encore piece. This is when a student who's giving a recital is able to do something of their choice at the very end that doesn't have to be classical or romantic or whatever. Here, I sang a piece that I composed entirely myself. As I'm recording this, I'm already prepping for my senior recital, and I've even gotten a great head start in terms of learning the music. Well, at least some of the music. Let's see how this will all turn out in the next 8 or 9 months, as my senior recital will be in late March, early April, or mid-April. Even though I didn't really consider this to be a walkout for me, because I was already on spring break when it was happening. In all seriousness though, this still meant I got to be a part of it. And what was even better was that one of my best friends who I've known since 3rd grade was one of the organizers of the strike. At this event, I got to make and bring my own protest sign, engage in numerous chants, present my own spoken word/slam poetry piece on the issue of climate change, and even witness a local street activist band chime in. Even though I couldn't stay for the part where everyone went into the State House to talk to politicians about the issue, I still had a blast just being in the rally. What was especially uplifting for me was that this was an opportunity I did not get last year because I wasn't able to be a part of any of the events organized by the March for Our Lives movement. 'Cause college. Hopefully, in the years to come, I'll be able to join even more of these protests and rallies. A few weeks ago, in fact actually around the time I was uploading my Friday Night's Alright for Chatting episode Choir Kid, my cousin and her boyfriend came over from the West Coast. For an entire weekend, I got to hang out and talk with them, join them for dinner with other relatives, rewatch Toy Story 3 with them, and even see Toy Story 4 with them the next day. This was the kind of experience that came right out of the blue, and yet it was so fantastically fun and laid back that I won't be forgetting it anytime soon. In case you couldn't tell by my aforementioned episode Choir Kid, I am extremely sentimental about my old high school show choir memories. This event added even more fuel to the fire that's driving this nostalgia, and even added some other fantastic elements too. Of course, it was great as always to hang out with old show choir friends, but it was equally amazing to see all the different show choirs that were performing at the event, including a nationally recognized group that's currently being directed by the guy who used to direct the choirs at my high school. This show choir in particular put on a show that could make Broadway jealous.
That could make Broadway jealous. That could make Broadway jealous.
Attending this show choir festival was a road to euphoria and an escape from the stress of college. And the number one best memory of 2019 so far is... I know I've already talked about this as well in the episode Choir Kid, but I just can't talk about it enough. Of course, I've already mentioned how I got to perform one of my compositions, which was actually that song Odd One Out, which I uploaded just days ago. The link is in the description, and how I also sang a duet/mashup that I arranged a number of months ago, and how I also got to join the most recent seniors and alumni for a show choir finale number. But I'd also like to add how I said before that the sense of nostalgia, community, and love that I felt radiated everywhere I went. For a bit more context, ever since I first began college, a number of the kids from the new generation of show choir at my high school have started to become friends with me, and they've even recognized me for my talents and hard work. Here, though, just as I worried that in the years to come, the memory of my high school show choir contributions wouldn't be passed on to future generations, I began to observe how there were kids who were 6 years younger than I am who began to recognize me for my talents, hard work, and contributions to show choir in my community. Regardless whether or not the memory of my high school show choir contributions gets passed down to future generations in the years to come, I can safely say that this is the number one best memory of 2019 so far. Well, that's the end of today's episode. What have been your favorite memories of 2019 so far? As always, please feel free to keep the conversation going by dropping either a comment or a video response with the hashtag Friday Nights Alright for Chatting. Don't be mean though, I'm watching you. Also, as always, if you like this video, please feel free to click the like button, and if you want to follow me on more of my adventures, please feel free to subscribe and also ring the bell so whenever I upload a video, you'll be the first to know. Also, as always, I've left all the links to my social media pages in the description below, in case you ever want to follow me on social media. Also, here's a bit of news. Just as a heads up, I unfortunately won't be uploading the Friday Nights Alright for Chatting episodes for July 19th or July 26th. This is because I'll be at the composition program at the Atlantic Music Festival, and I'll be there from July 15th until the 28th. However, this does mean that I will be making some Atlantic Music Festival vlogs of my experience there. You should expect those to be popping up at different times all throughout next week and the week after that. Then from August 2nd onward, Friday Nights Alright for Chatting will be back on YouTube. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Stay awesome!